Hello everybody, this is your pilot speaking. This is Brandon Peterson here with a different video than what I've done before. Top Gun Maverick just recently came out, and with the downloadable content from Microsoft Flight Simulator, playing with the jets and doing the low altitude flights and trying out the aircraft carrier landings, kind of rejuvenated my enthusiasm for Microsoft Flight Simulator. And I thought, hey, let's make another video, but instead of the normal tutorials or the normal just gameplay videos that I normally do, I thought I'd make a little short video giving a tour of the college football landscape in the great state of Nebraska. It's where I live. I'll probably do this for other areas also down the road if this is at all successful, if anybody watches it and likes it and I get some good feedback from it. But I thought, let's start in our state. Obviously, people think of the Nebraska Cornhuskers for college football, and there's a lot of other schools in the state of Nebraska that have college football that have their own passionate fan bases also. So I thought, let's do that. I like checking out different places on Microsoft Flight Simulator and seeing how accurate or sometimes goofy they are. It's AI generated in some cases, so you can see some crazy things that take place. And I thought looking at college football stadiums in Nebraska would give us a variety of structures in sizes and shapes, and it would just be a fun sightseeing tour. So I was kind of taking my love for technology, love for Microsoft Flight Simulator and other video games, I guess you would call it, and my passion for college football and merging these things together into one piece of content. So here we are, we're going to be taking off in the Textron Cessna 152 Aerobat out of Chadron, Nebraska, flying to Chadron State College, then southeast over to Loper Country in Kearney, Nebraska. From Kearney, we will fly over to Hastings. I want to save the big stadium for Nebraska for last, so that way it's not really anticlimactic by going to a smaller stadium that may not look as good on the simulator. So then we'll head to southeast Nebraska to check out the Peru State Bobcats. Then we'll retrace our steps a little by flying west to Concordia's BULLDOGS Stadium in Seward, Nebraska. Then we'll head up north to Wayne State College, then south to Fremont where the Midland Warriors roam, then to Lincoln. One quick stop in Lincoln at Nebraska Wesleyan, then wrapping up our tour obviously where one would expect at Nebraska's Memorial Stadium. So here we are, Chadron State College. Chadron State football, the Eagles, Division II. They play in the RMAC conference. Chadron has played some good football over the years. Their, I would say, most notable win, probably in program history, defeating the Colorado Buffaloes 3-0 in 1925. A few well-known players, I guess. Danny Woodhead, as of recently. And before Danny Woodhead, there was Don Beebe. Don Beebe's famous from the Super Bowl play. He played with the Bills at the time. And with the game out of hand, Leon Lett from the Cowboys recovers a fumble from the Bills in Super Bowl 27 and starts celebrating on his way to the end zone for a rub-it-in-your-face touchdown. Beebe did not give up on the play and chases down Leon Lett and punches the ball loose through the end zone for a touchback. And I think that's a pretty good play, to look back at in terms of that. It's pretty memorable. Just it's the never give up and never quit mentality. Elliott Field, where the Eagles play, was completed in 1921. It's had a few expansions since that time, obviously, as you would expect, including the Con Marshall Press Box, which is named for the longtime sports and news information director, who's beloved by the local residents of Chadron and Chadron State College's alumni. All right, as we approach campus here, you can see where Elliott Field should be just off the left of the plane right now, and does not look that great in terms of how it was rendered on here. Chadron High School football field we just passed. Let's take a loop back around and we'll see if we can get another decent look here at this football field for Chadron. Again, like I said, Microsoft Flight Simulator does a pretty good job of rendering pretty much everything that's in the world. It uses some artificial intelligence to help render some of it, and part of this is because I have a little bit of a dated graphic card. I need the new ones to come down in price a little bit so I can do a new PC build one of these days. So, and I'm always going to be a little defensive on Microsoft Flight Simulator. I don't know why I didn't help develop this, but if people say something doesn't look realistic, I get upset to the point where I'm the one who, like you think I had something to do with it. So off the left-hand side here again, you can kind of see where the football field should be. We do have Sea Hill rendered in there decently. Used to be covered with trees prior to that huge fire they had, and probably 15 years ago or so, give or take. So I'm going to give the Chadron State College Microsoft Flight Simulator rendering maybe like 2. You can give it a 2 out of 5 on here because it looks a lot better in real life. They did get Sea Hill put in there. The football field is not that recognizable on the simulator right now. So let's head on to our next location over towards Kearney and see how the Lopers campus looks. Kearney, not too far away from where I currently live, just down the interstate. UNK, University of Nebraska-Kearney football started in 1905. It was Kearney State for a while, then they joined the University of Nebraska system. Longtime rivals of Chadron State College, and moved to the ultra-competitive MIAA conference, leaving Chadron and Kearney to rarely play anymore, which is a shame. I'm a Chadron graduate. That's where I got my undergraduate and my master's degree from, and always looked forward to the Chadron-Kearney games for watching those. They were always fun to watch. In 2020, Chadron did play Kearney due to COVID. They were able to play because it was closer, I think, and just the logistics during that unprecedented times allowed those two teams to play. And they played at Foster Field, which we're going to be seeing here, where the Lopers, unfortunately, in my case, beat Chadron State College in a shootout, 45-35. It's a great school, UNK, great school, Chadron State. All these schools in Nebraska, good places to go to school. Because I was jabbering about UNK while we were flying by, let's loop back around one more time and get another look at that stadium. It looked like this one here. It was rendered a little bit better. Just up to the left, right above this body of water here, just off the left wing, you can see that football field there. And it looks pretty decent. Alright, here we are approaching Hastings. The Hastings Broncos are members of the Great Plains Athletic Conference, which is NAIA football. Lloyd Wilson Field holds approximately 3,000 fans. I think it's like 2,200 on the home side, 800 on the visitor side, something like that I remember reading. Probably the most notable player from Hastings College. In terms of Nebraskans, all real Nebraskans know this, was Tom Osborne. Tom Osborne would go on to a brief NFL career with the 49ers and Washington Redskins after graduating from Hastings College, and then would eventually be hired by Bob Devaney as an assistant at the University of Nebraska. We all know the famed career after that. That's the Hastings Broncos for you. Peru State is another NAIA football program in Nebraska that plays in Heart of America Athletic Conference. In 1990, Peru State Bobcats went 12-0-1 and beat Westminster 17-7 in Omaha for the NAIA Division II National Championship, which is pretty cool. The Oak Bowl, which I love that name for the stadium, it's nestled in these hills and trees. Google search it up and see if you've never been to that stadium or if you haven't seen it. In those hills and trees gives a real unique college football setting. I'm going to do turn around up here again and just fly back over that field again, because it does look pretty on this simulator here. The whole countryside around this area I think looks pretty neat with all the trees and the rolling hills and the river. A lot of scenery to look at. And I think right now on Microsoft Flight Simulator, this football field, in terms of the places in Nebraska where I've flown, is my favorite that I've seen so far on this trip. Just right on the left side, right beneath the plane right now, you can see. Let's do a bird's eye view from above. The bleachers in a lot of these are kind of replaced with buildings. I wish that was something that could get fixed, but I think that does look really cool. One last view as we fly off to our next destination. Here we are heading over to Concordia. Concordia is part of the Concordia University system located in Seward, Nebraska. The Bulldogs play NAIA college football in the Great Plains Athletic Conference. Bulldog Stadium is not only used for football, but it's also used for men and women's soccer and outdoor track and field. The stadium, as we see it appear today, essentially, opened in 1997. In 2016, they added some field turf and also resurfaced the surrounding track. Wayne State Wildcats began playing football in 1912. A notable season for the Wildcats was in 1970, in a season where they beat University of Nebraska Omaha when they had football, Chadron State College, they beat Kearney State, and they beat Peru State. So we're pretty solid in the state of Nebraska in terms of college football. They would then play in the Mineral Water Bowl at Excelsior Springs, Missouri, against Franklin College of Indiana. Today, Wayne State plays in Division II for the Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference. And their home football field, Memorial Stadium, is where they play their games at. I got a lot of love for the Wildcats, as I got one of my teaching endorsements from Wayne State College in information technology. The Midland Warriors, another Nebraska NAIA Great Plains Athletic Conference member. Midland University is found in Fremont, Nebraska, where they play their games at Heatham Field. Getting to the final stretch, the final lap of our little tour here. This first place we will see in Lincoln, Nebraska is Nebraska Wesleyan, the Prairie Wolves. I like that mascot name. They're a member of NCAA Division III. Prior to 2016, they played at the NAIA level in the Great Plains Athletic Conference. Member of the American Rivers Conference. Their games are played at Able Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska. Able Stadium holds about 2,500 fans and allows the Prairie Wolves to host football games as well as soccer and track. We are. Here we're coming to it. Your Nebraska Cornhuskers. The Sea of Red. Around 85,000 fans, which would make it the third largest city in the state on game day, as they famously state before the games. Huskers play in the FBS. They play in the Big Ten. And a special thing about this stadium is this year, 2022, this fall, will be the 100th season for Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska, which was built in honor of Nebraska's World War I fallen heroes. The stadium has gone through many facelifts, many upgrades and advancements over the years, but you can still find the inscriptions on the outside of the stadium corners. In the southeast corner, It says, in commemoration of the men of Nebraska who served and fell in the nation's wars. In the southwest corner, not the victory, but the action, not the goal, but the game, in the deed, the glory. In the northwest corner, courage, generosity, fairness, honor. And these are the true awards of manly sport. And in the northeast corner, their lives they held in country's trust.
Lincoln Tower
they kept its faith, they died its
Sierra
heroes.
is 4 miles southeast, 2,300
So pretty inspirational
feet,
quotes around the stadium, and obviously is kind of the featured stop on it. I think they did a pretty good job of getting this done on Microsoft Flight Simulator.
17 Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra.
So there we have it. That is our trip. College football in the state of Nebraska. We have FBS, there's Division II, Division III, there's NAIA, all sorts of different programs spread out from the west all the way to the east end of the state. So no matter where you live, even if you can't make it to Lincoln, or if you don't want to deal with the traffic, or if you just don't want to go to a huge atmosphere, there's plenty of other options where you can get that Saturday college football fix with some cool places to see, some nice scenery around the area, and enjoy a game with your friends or family. So I appreciate you joining me on this little tour. Let me know what you think in the comments below, good or bad. Was this cool? Was it not? Is there anything that you'd like to see differently? Is there a different place you would like to visit, or something that I could do better with it? Obviously, I'd like to take that feedback and apply it to another video, and if people are interested. So again, appreciate you watching, and we'll catch you later.
Clear to land runway 17. Clear to land runway 17 Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra.
Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra exit runway when able.